Salutations, Exile. Patch 3.11, Harvest League, added the Storm Secret unique ring. I can't help but think it was designed with me in mind. Everything about it screams spellcast loop. I absolutely had to make a build using it. Normally, Herald of Thunder starts hitting a nearby enemy for a short duration after you've killed a shocked enemy, making it useless against bosses. With Storm Secret, Herald of Thunder can become a boss killer, because it no longer triggers on kill, but on shock. Herald of Thunder itself cannot shock, but Choir of the Storm will trigger a similar lightning bolt on crit, which can shock. Herald of Thunder has 0% base crit chance, so you need to add flat crit chance from one of these sources for it to be able to crit. It is difficult to scale Herald of Thunder's damage because it does not benefit from anything spell related. The most effective ways to scale Herald of Thunder's damage are gem level, certain support gems, crit, and increased elemental or lightning damage. With the right setup, Herald of Thunder can deal millions of boss DPS by itself. The meta strategy would be to combine this with Impulsa's and Storm's Gift in order to clear giant packs of enemies with a single lightning bolt, and scale Energy Shield to keep up with the self-damage. That build is better than mine, but I think mine is more fun. Storm Secret self-damage is not very high. With 2 perfect Storm Secrets, you will take 1000 damage per second at 75% lightning resistance. That's not enough for any particularly exciting spellcast loops, but it is enough to constantly maintain several buffs and debuffs that greatly increase our damage. In fact, 1 Storm Secret is enough to do that, so I'm using a very useful rare ring instead of a second Storm Secret. Even with 2, if we have at least 5000 life, we can sustain the self-damage entirely with Life Leech at the default recovery of 20% life per second. If we choose to be life-based, we will constantly be near 0 Energy Shield, allowing us to always gain the higher damage benefit from Energy Leech support, making it one of our best choices to support Herald of Thunder. Lightning damage leached as life is a difficult stat to obtain. I used 2 Doriani's Catalysts until I could upgrade my gear. I chose to use a rare chest with the explosion mod on it, which is inferior to Impulsa's in this build, but allows me to choose another influence mod. Ordinarily, this is where I would stop, but this is Harvest League, so I spent 3 times as long on this character, incrementally upgrading my gear and trying out different options. A guide to craft all of this gear is in the description of the video. This helmet is my pride and joy. It was the first item I crafted. It cost me 12 chaos, 8 for the base, 4 for the essence. I hit the enchant in 4 tries. This chest cost me 1 exalt, an awakener's orb, and over a week of pain and suffering trying to get a physical augment while the rates were bugged. After getting the worst possible synthesis implicits, I settled on these gloves. They cost me about 80 chaos. The boots and the belt are pretty standard. Now, ordinarily, the Doriani's Catalysts and Choir of the Storm would be nearly impossible to replace with better rares, but with Harvest, anything is possible. I crafted this amulet to get better damage and lightning damage leached as life, so I could replace the Catalyst with a better weapon. It cost me about 50 chaos, some alteration orbs, and an awakener's orb. This staff is insane. It's fractured for absolutely no reason. I really wish it wasn't, so I could add an influenced suffix. The spell damage doesn't even affect Herald of Thunder, but it looks nice. It cost me about 15 exalt. Swapping in these 2 items tripled my damage. Calamitous Visions gives a keystone which doubles the damage of Herald of Thunder, but you can only use 1 herald, and you can't use auras. However, aspects are not auras. We can use Aspect of the Cat to alternate between 2 buffs. Cat's Agility gives 10% increased attack and cast speed, and Cat's Stealth gives 15% chance to avoid damage, 100% increased crit chance, and most importantly, 50% reduced visibility. The entire reason I'm using a rare chest is so I can gain frenzy charges on hit, which I use to increase the duration of phase run, which also gives 50% reduced visibility. So, for 4 seconds every 10 seconds, we can be totally invisible, alternating between invisibly running circles around the boss, and unleashing spells when visible makes boss fights a lot more fun. Phase run is not interrupted by triggered spells, so we can do millions of DPS with Herald of Thunder, and have a spellcast loop while being totally invisible. I guess you could say the storm truly is secret. Today's forecast calls for blue skies.
Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a us so long. Where did we go wrong?
Mr. Blue Sky,
Please tell us why you